Baudines or the whole you just haven't found the right person thing. Yeah. Oh, that one hits a lot harder for like, yeah, that happens to a lot of like asexual and aromantic people as well, where it's just like, and the whole like, even just people who just don't want to have babies and are just like chill, and people are like, oh, it's okay. Once you meet the right person, you'll be willing to settle down. It's like, chill, dude. Chill. Hey, that's so bad because I don't want kids. Yeah, same. I like children. I just never want to have children of my own. I never want to have a relationship of my own. I'm quite happy watching all that from the outside. So it's fine, like taking care of other people's children, playing with children, and then handing them back to the parents when they poop themselves. Baby thing is irritating. Yeah, I think it's a generational thing. I think probably in like another 2 to 3 generations, they'll be a lot more like calm about it. That's the thing about having a lot of siblings. When one of the others has a kid, I get asked when I'm going to have a kid. Oh, damn it. That's a sad one. Sorry, Jack. I was hoping this was going to be one of the ones where it was like, that's the thing about having a lot of siblings. Like they all start having kids, and then I'm just like the cool uncle / auntie who gets to like, yeah, play with the kids, buy them things, be having fun with them, and then peace out and go home to my chill area where there's no screaming children. There's also that pressure coming from onto the person themselves, where it's just like your friends will start to get married, your friends will start to have children, and yeah, there's all that pressure from society in general to be like, well, you're not happy, right? You need to settle down. You need to have a loved one. In fact, even just in this game, in Dead Plate, you had the dude shouting out at the cannibal like, you don't love anybody. What's the point? You just work all day. What are you working for if it's not to spend money on your loved one? And the dude's just like, for myself. Like, I enjoy my privacy and, you know, the satisfaction of doing a good job and owning my craft. And it's like, yeah, chill, dude. I stopped socializing for 7 years after being hated for being ace and not having a crush. Oh, that fucking sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, Rabbity. My father on his deathbed finally admitted that he was upset I never had kids despite having 2 brothers and he had 14 grandkids. I'm just genuinely sad to hear that, Paradox, man. That's a horrible thing to hear on a... Normally you get like the nice like releases of things on a deathbed rather than that. That fucking sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. And to anybody who does need to hear it, you don't need a family. You don't need loved ones. You don't need any of that kind of bullshit to make you complete. Every person is unique individual, and whatever you want to do, whatever brings you joy to your life, that's what you should do. Whether it is having a career, whether it is having children, whether it is having family, whether it is having a loved one, whether it is like creating something, owning your craft, owning your passion, or even if it's just none of that, even if it's just like, hey, I just love vibing. I love life. I love just having fun in my own way, enjoying the fandoms that I'm into. And yo, as an adult, you just get to enjoy that shit, and people should leave you the fuck alone. That's the whole point of being an adult. You have responsibilities you have to take care of. As long as you're doing that, nobody should tell you jack shit of anything else. Maybe it's just owning a lot of VTuber merch. True. Or maybe it's just owning every single video game ever made. Or every single one of the Dark Crystal collectible figurines. Not that that's specific to me or anything. My dad happily accepted being a granddad to a cat. There you go. That's even better. Cats don't talk back. They just accept things. Thank you for donating the food funds, Realm. You may hire. Man had someone get so mad. I had a comment about not wanting kids when I worked retail. They complained to a manager. How is that affecting you doing it? That's honestly like, that's crazy behavior. I don't understand some people. Imagine what level of Karen you have to be to go to the manager and be like, manager, this employee of yours doesn't want to have children, and therefore I don't think they're doing their job properly? Question mark. That's so immature. That's wild. A man needed to touch grass. Yeah, that person needed to get the fuck outside, deal with their own life. That's what's crazy, man. We're so obsessed with everybody else's lives nowadays, especially with like social media. We're always trying to like keep an eye on what other people are doing rather than just living our own lives. And yeah. Jojo BB. Imagine getting asked, when are you going to have kids? And having to answer, I don't know if I can have kids. Fuck, yeah, that's a point as well. Thank you for donating the Foo Funds. And yeah, honestly, there are all kinds of different scenarios where people either wouldn't want them, can't have them, maybe want to have them and can't have them. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely could not have a child of my own, but I could possibly, if I did like do very well in my career and get to the point where I could like retire comfortably or just have a more relaxed schedule in the future, I would possibly like to foster children. And when I say children, I mean like children of the age of like 12 and up, where it would be like, hey, these children I could actually take care of. They don't require me like bending down or chasing after them and stopping them from running into roads. And yeah, just give them like somewhere safe to live and grow up. That kind of thing. But yeah, definitely not interested in having children of my own. I'm surprised you're really opening about some personal stuff. I mean, people hate you for anything, so I talk about all kinds of personal stuff nowadays where I'm like, I don't care. There's no point in pretending things anymore. More than anything, it's just, yeah, I've calmed down. Like, if people want to hate me for, like, my personal life things of, like, oh my god, you don't want to have children of your own? Oh my god, you're, like, bisexual and aromantic? Oh my god, are you okay? And it's like, I don't care. I've figured out who I am. I'm comfortable with who I am. The older I get, the less I care about other people's opinions. And thankfully, it's starting to get to that point where I am just like, hey, yeah, I don't like everything about myself, and I try to work on the things that I don't like. But at the same time, if people are going to hate me for the things that I don't believe are bad things, that aren't hurting anybody else, that's more of a them issue than a me issue. That's the them living in negativity issue. I'm just trying to live my life and thrive. I think that is definitely something you figure out more as you get older. You start to care less. And it's also the fact that when you're young, you're forced into like school and places where you have to be with people of the same age that are constantly judging you, and you're constantly being like tested and all of that kind of shit. Every time someone asks me when I'm having kids, I tell them, when you agree to financially sponsor them all the way, and that shuts them up real quick. I mean, if you want to be like a trophy, there are actually plenty of people that would be like that. Also, low-key shout out to any comfy parents. I can't imagine taking care of a human. No, parents are amazing. Parents do so much for their child. They shape their whole world. They teach them how to behave. They pick up on everything from them. So not just the mother, but the father as well. Yeah. Anybody who's taking care of something so fragile, so ephemeral, really. Something so beautiful that you want to raise in the perfect way, and yeah, you have to take care of and know when to step back and know when to balance being like a strict parent with the responsibilities and also being fun and engaging, giving into like fostering their passions and igniting those, but then at the same time making sure that they do have to get through school because we all have to deal with society and everything as well. Yeah, being a parent is an incredibly hard job, so I'm incredibly impressed with anybody that can do it. Same for teachers. Teachers work incredibly hard for barely any money and barely any respect, and they do shape the minds of the fucking future generation that we're all gonna have to deal with. Raising children is never easy. No. Yuki Tempest, thank you for donating full funds. Me and my sisters all want to be the cool rich aunt that lives abroad, and none of us want kids for different reasons. So we're kind of at a stalemate. Okay, that's actually really funny. Just every one of the siblings just looking at each other like, you guys ever gonna have kids? I want to have some nephews and nieces. Guys, one of you has to break. It's not gonna be me. Thank you for donating the food funds. And that's just a really funny scenario to me. It's the Spider-Man pointing at each other meme. Yeah, everyone just pointing at each other like, you breed. Go breed. Breed. Me and my parents raised my nephew for his first 2 years since their parents were busy working. Oh, that's wild. That must have been really intense work. I love him, but that was enough experience to know I don't want to be a mom. Being a parent has to be incredibly stressful. Especially like just like not getting sleep through most of the night, just having to deal with like all of that kind of stuff, raising the child, giving up on like most of your expendable income and most of your time, and yeah, being hated for it for quite a bit of that period as well. Really fucking sucks. How do they do it? Ah, they're just incredible people, man. Not to mention the financial aspect. Yeah, that goes on forever. And then a lot of people have to take out like loans and stuff at the end as well. If you have a kid that's a whole new person, yeah, anything they do kind of based on a lot of the shit that you've done, your way of raising them. So yeah, it's a shit ton of responsibility. Ooh, if you become that successful in your career, would you consider fostering a 30-year-old with the anxiety of a chihuahua, the mood of a bozoy, and shiny hair? But you know what, as long as you got shiny hair. No, I think still no. I bold of you to assume that just because they're 30, I'd trust them to be mature. This is a joke. Nobody come at me. Everybody knows you're kidding, Ying Shijie. Don't worry. Love hanging with 30-plus-year-old Fu and comfies who are happy in their childless, no-marriage life. Been single for a decade, but I've cultivated very strong platonic relationships. Honestly, yeah. Some people don't even need platonic relationships. Some people don't even need friendships too much. But yeah, no, as long as you're happy, that's all that matters. As long as you're feeling fulfilled. And yeah, emotional fulfillment is a thing as well. You can get that in all kinds of ways. But yeah, as long as you're happy, that's all that matters. We've been having a lot of deep conversations after the games we've been playing recently. Even though I don't have any kind of intelligence to actually talk about it properly, I can explain like what I feel about things and where I've been in my life in the past. I forget which game it was like very recently, but it even made me like talk about the fact that I'm aromantic, which I haven't brought up on stream before. It just came out naturally. There were a couple of comments saying like, oh, I didn't know that about you, Fu-chan. I am too, and it's really nice to feel seen. It's always nice to bring up deep topics when you're just like, yeah, having fun, having a silly time, sharing ideas and thoughts with people. We were like, okay, now let's have a deep conversation about my bullshit psychological state and what I learned from this game and what I embraced and what I was most interested in and stuff like that.